Welcome to this overview of Byron Katie's book, Loving What Is, which shares 4 questions that can change your life. These 4 questions are: is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? How do you react when you think that thought? And who would you be without this thought? And which can sometimes be supplemented with questions like, can you see a reason to drop this thought? And can you find a stress-free reason to keep this thought? These questions aren't about getting you to drop your story. They are about changing your relationship with your thoughts. This is because a thought is harmless unless you believe it, because that belief creates an attachment to the thought. And that creates an issue when we have accepted the thought as being true without examining whether it is, because small stories breed bigger stories breed major theories, and major theories drive our choices. Katie calls this stage the dream. On the upside, this is the stage that allows you to apply the 4 questions to end your confusion and experience internal peace, even in a world of apparent chaos. Because it's about realizing your internal cause and effect. Because if you don't realize your internal cause and effect, you are going to recreate the same situations over and over. Because you are thinking from your expectations of what should be rather than what is. And very likely you're stressing yourself over things that you have no control over and therefore aren't your business. And you can get a clue as to what is going on inside you if you flip your thoughts about others to being thoughts about you. For example, I don't love them becomes I don't love me. And that allows you to accept the reality of what is and befriend it. Think of the wind. If it's blowing, it is blowing. And if you are experiencing a setback, accepting the reality of that allows you to focus on what you can do now. For example, the reality is your job has been disestablished. Your response is to acknowledge that as true and then ask yourself, what can I do now? Meaning the inquiry stage is more than a technique. It brings to life from deep within us an innate aspect of our being. The first step in what Katie calls the work is to write down your judgments about the stressful situations in your life, past, present, or future, without any form of restraint. This will allow you to identify just what your ego is actually feeling, and Katie advises it won't be shy in telling you what it thinks. Then ask yourself the 4 questions about the first statement you have made, being still so the answers naturally surface from the deepest part of yourself. Then turn it around, rewriting your story so the judgment is about you, because everything you see is just a reflection back to you of you, meaning you are asking yourself, is this as true or truer for me than the person I am judging? Then repeat the process for the next statement you have written down until you've done it for each statement. Now you may be thinking, I already know that, but Katie encourages us to trust the process, as when we try to start with ourselves, we are likely to be caught up in our stories. And once we've got the hang of the basic process, we can go deeper for clearer inquiry. For example, sometimes you will immediately know the answer to question 1, is it true, is no. If this happens, skip to question 3. How do you react when you have that thought? But until you reach this stage, deeper inquiry of the question, is this true, will assist you to identify the reality of the situation, because what is what is meant to be. For example, a cat meows, a dog barks, and if a person doesn't share their feelings, then we know that is what is meant to be because they don't share their feelings. And once you've established how you feel when you have this thought, check with yourself whose business you are in with that thought you are having. Because if your thought isn't about you, you need to flip your thought to make it about you, as you can only work on you. Diving deeper into the second question, can you absolutely know that it's true, is often necessary because the statement appears to be true based on your beliefs. And the answer is no, because what is, is. So what you think should be happening is like deciding if the bubble on a carpenter's level isn't in the center, then the thing you are checking needs to be fixed to make it level. But when it comes to people, we have no idea what is going through someone's mind or what they are feeling or what is best for them in the long run. So there is nothing for us to fix, meaning our focus needs to be on our thoughts on what is. So to dig deeper into the question, can you absolutely know that it's true? Add, and it means that to your original statement, as that helps you identify what you think your statement means, and to identify if it is this meaning that is causing your feelings. Alternatively, you can think about what you would have if you had the opposite of the thing you are complaining about, and then dig into why you want those things. Or you can consider the worst that could happen at every turn of the spiraling down of this thing you don't want, then apply the 4 questions to those fears. You can also create a should and shouldn't version of your statement, as sometimes this makes it easier to identify where is the proof to support your belief. And then investigate that proof using the 4 questions. To dig deeper into question 3, how do you react when you think that thought, is to notice the picture you create to go with your thoughts. This can help you to see how you are creating more feelings to build on your initial reaction. And to dig into the 4th question, who would you be without the thought? Imagine yourself in the scenario you have written down, and then imagine who you would be if this thought in this scenario never occurs to you. This allows you to see how your thoughts change how you interact with others, and to choose which version of you prefer. You can also dig deeper into the turnaround, the checking of what you are thinking is as true or truer when applied to you. There are 3 types of turnaround: making the judgment about you, making it about how you should be interacting with the other person, and then accepting your judgment of the other person is exactly how they should be treating you. There are many possible combinations of these 3 turnarounds, but what you are looking for is the combination that brings you the greatest self-realization, even if you have to consider the issue figuratively rather than literally. So do the turnaround in any way that works for you, but always apply the questions before doing the turnaround. Then live those turnarounds. Be honest with those you've been judging and punishing, and make amends. Eventually, you will find inner freedom and take action from a place of love. This is an easy-to-read book with lots of different scenario examples and guidance on how to implement the work. And that is invaluable, as Katie has found, no matter the language or culture, there are no new thoughts. The same thoughts arise in each mind one way or another, sooner or later. But more importantly, the work is not about shame and blame. It is not about proving you are in the wrong. It is about showing you the internal connection between your thoughts and feelings and identifying your underlying beliefs. The 4 questions: is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? How do you react when you think that thought? And who would you be without this thought? Will fit in with whatever beliefs you have or where you are at in your life, because they are just questions about your thoughts. And even better, you don't need a teacher to show you how, because you know what is right for you. Thank you for viewing this video. Please like and subscribe and click on the notification bell to be advised when further book overviews are uploaded. And to help me grow this channel's reach, please share the link with others.